During the 19th century, European powers established small trading ports along the Chinese coast. This was exactly how colonization began in regions like Africa and India. However, this was not the case in China. Unlike these regions, no foreign colonies were established deep within the Chinese mainland. Most of China managed to avoid full-scale colonization. This raises an interesting question: why was China never fully colonized? In the first half of the 19th century, the Chinese imperial government attempted to restrict British opium imports. These imports were harmful to China's economy and society. In response, Britain launched the First Opium War in 1839. The war resulted in a British victory. As a consequence, Britain secured the right to trade opium. They also gained control of Hong Kong, along with other concessions. This marked the beginning of a series of defeats for Imperial China. Over time, China suffered losses to European powers, the United States, Russia, and Japan. These conflicts culminated between 1900 and 1901. During this time, an eight-nation alliance invaded, conquered, and temporarily occupied Beijing. In the following decades, China continued to suffer losses. After its defeat in the Opium War, several foreign powers gained colonial concessions. Belgium, Austria, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States all secured territories along the Chinese coastline. But why weren't these holdings expanded further into the mainland? The first reason was China's military strength on land. While China was easily defeated at sea due to its outdated navy, it remained a formidable power on land. Until 1900, China had the largest army in the world. This army was undergoing modernization. China demonstrated its military capability in several instances. In 1881, it successfully pressured Russia to retreat from disputed territory under the threat of war. This proved that China could still pose a credible military challenge. In 1885, the Chinese army won land battles against France. However, they were ultimately defeated by the French at sea. Furthermore, China's modernization efforts made the West perceive it as an emerging military power. Even during the occupation of Beijing in 1900, China was not fully defeated. It retained enough military strength to negotiate acceptable terms in the resulting peace treaty. The second reason was the role of the United States. While European powers divided China into spheres of influence, the US did not claim any such territory. Other nations dominated trade in their respective regions, hoping to eventually turn them into colonies. The US, however, was concerned about being excluded from China's profitable markets. To prevent this, it proposed the open door policy. Under this policy, foreign powers agreed not to annex further Chinese territory. They also allowed free trade across all of China. This arrangement benefited all parties involved. It was more profitable to have access to the entire Chinese market rather than monopolizing trade in a single region. Thus, China remained unconquered by colonial powers. This changed in the 1930s when Japan invaded China. After World War II, all foreign powers gradually relinquished their colonial concessions in China. One by one, these territories were returned. The last handovers were British Hong Kong in 1997 and Portuguese Macau in 1999. And with that, thank you for watching.